Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Sam. How are you, buddy?
man. Murr, it is so good to have you on this podcast, man. I
Thanks
am
for
a
having
fan of your work. I love what you do. I have watched you. You know what? Before I even get into all of this, you just want to just start the podcast.
me. Sure, man.
All right, look, Murr, I don't know if you ever paid attention to my podcast at one point, but you know we got to do it for every guest we have available, especially someone of your magnitude. We have something called the over the top intro. You ready for it?
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm excited to hear.
Here we go. Here we go. This is for my man Murr, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is a comedian, author, philanthropist, and actor who has totally given up his very ego for our very entertainment. You know him from his guest starring appearances on TV series such as Bones and his acting prowess in Howard Stern's Private Parts, or most importantly, he is a staple of the Tenderloins and a prominent member of the Impractical Jokers when he's not waxing his body every 2 weeks and pining over his high school crush, Miss Lindsay. He is providing laughs and general entertainment in our face, ears, and eye holes, and he will be coming to your city live. James Murray, welcome to
Yeah! That is the best intro I've ever gotten in my life, by the way. And yes, I did shave my body hair literally 2 days ago because every 2 weeks I got to do it. And then because I'm bald, I got to cut my hair every week. It's crazy. Because if you don't cut your hair when you're bald, only the sides grow out, and I look freaking crazy, man. By the
man.
way, can I commend you on your background? I
Yeah,
know I noticed a Die Hard poster, and is that Breaking Bad behind you
yeah,
too?
yeah.
Ready? I just rewatched the entire series. I finished last night.
That's how
I,
you do it.
and then I moved on today to Better Call Saul.
Man, it's a perfect show. There, I
Yeah,
said it. It's a perfect show.
it is. It's nerve wracking, man. Like there's some episodes that are just difficult to watch in a great way. Like you're like, oh my god, what did he do? You know what I mean? It's frustrating and incredible. The acting's great. I just did a full rewatch and finished last
As you can tell, Murr, I am a fan.
night. I can tell. Yeah.
And I just very, very slobberingly grateful that you are just here with us today. I know we ain't got a lot of time, but I want to just talk about a lot of stuff. Like mainly, we talk about Impractical Jokers. We talked about that a little bit, but working with your best friends, man, that's always a dream job. How has it been? I feel like you answered this question so many times, but come on, tell me.
It's honestly great. It's the greatest strength and weakness of the show, right? Because they're not like they're coworkers, but they're not because they're my best friends. So we fight like best friends all the time, and then but we're also coworkers, so we just have to work together, and then we make up immediately too because I'm too old to make new friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna do? I can't. There's no. We have an idea for next season of the show for a challenge. It's called New Male Best Friend. Oh no, Middle-aged Male Best Friend. New Middle-aged Male Best Friend. And the challenge is this: you've got to go into like a men's room. The camera stays outside, so you only hear the audio of the Joker that goes inside. And
Right.
you've got to go up to another guy in the men's room and say, "Listen, I'm a middle-aged man. I'm just kind of looking for some new male adult best friends. Could I get your phone number?" It's not weird or sexual. It's just I just want to make new adult middle-aged male best friends.
I can't
I'm
wait to watch that.
excited.
I can't wait to watch that. Like when you grow up and you guys, the Jokers are has always been great, but when you grow up with these guys, I have to ask just for my own personal edification, how many times did you guys land in detention for half
Good.
the stuff?
It was only Q, man. Q be in detention all the time. I was a good kid. So was Joe. So was Sal. We stayed out of trouble. We didn't do it, and it was real. It's real hard to get detention in an all boys Catholic high school because there were kids that were so much worse. They were. Can I curse?
Yeah, yeah, feel free.
Total, total fuck ups. You know what I mean? Like you could tell in high school that, oh man, these kids are their life is going in another direction. So the ire of the teachers always aimed at those kids. Like we were bad kids, but not the baddest of kids. And in an all boys Catholic high school, the teachers just took aim at the baddest, and they were very bad. So we were okay.
All right, outside of Q, I always ask who out of the rest you got in trouble the most. But look, you have found a way to juggle this, and I feel like as a person, no pun intended, wears a lot of hats. You have done this right. You definitely stayed busy, whether it be Jokers, Misery Index, Dinner Party. When you guys first started Jokers, did you ever imagine that we would be here right now? We would be on this level?
No way, man. I mean, we've been filming the TV show now for 13 years, right? And there was a moment. Keep in mind, Jokers is like a third show we sold. We shot 2 other pilots to 2 different networks. They said we were too old, too fat, too bald for TV, whatever. And the Jokers was a third show we sold, and it got picked up and went to series. But there was a moment, like when the show premiered, December 15th, 2000, December 11th, December 15th, 2011. We started shooting 2010. It finally aired end of 2011. That premiere night, we had like a party for our friend's family. And there's a shot, you can find it online, of the guys and I all together in a circle, kind of very close. What we were saying in that moment was that chances are we're getting canceled tomorrow, right? Because the ratings are going to come in. They suck. People don't want to see, fat, balding, white guys from Staten Island doing pranks, right? It's just whatever. We're gonna get canceled tomorrow, right? And we didn't get canceled. The ratings were good, and they stayed good and grew and grew and grew. But we said in that moment, like, this could be the only night we're ever on television. Like, we could get canceled tomorrow, but in this moment right now, we made it, and we got here on our own terms. We weren't discovered. We worked our asses off and got here. And that's what we were saying in that circle in that photo. And here we are, gosh, 13 years later, still going, man. It's crazy. I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. And it's certainly not because of our looks or talents.
Well, hold on. No, don't sell yourself short, because you guys have talents. And quite honestly, you've had celebrities on your show. And I think one of your first ever people was like John Mayer, of all people, is your celebrity guest. But I guess my question is this. Out of watching the show, we're at season 10 going on 11, who is the celebrity that can stand in and be an honorary Joker? God forbid somebody need a day off or something, you gotta take some time off. Who's the celebrity you could say, like, all right, this person could be a Joker today?
Sure. I mean, there's precedent for Joey Fatone being the rogue Joker that comes in. He's done many episodes. The season finale of season 10 airing in the spring, we give Fatone the whole episode. He's in it with us entirely. And then for the first time ever, we punish someone that's not ourselves. He loses the episode and we punish him. It's the first time ever we've punished anyone that's not the guys in it, right? So I'm excited for that. And then, Eric Andre fits really nicely in our world too. He's going to be on a couple more episodes coming up. And lots of people, man. I would love to get Jack Black in the show. That'd be awesome.
Oh, man, that'd be great. That'd be great. But I have to say this. This is me. This is just me. I'm being selfish right now, because when you talk to one of you, okay, look, I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it 100. When you talk to someone you essentially watch every night, I'll just put it like that, the questions kind of write themselves in an interview such as this. What you are seeing is me trying to be a professional right now, but a lot of this is coming from a very personal place. I just want to put it on Front Street, Murr.
Oh, my God.
All right. With that said, one of my favorite moments of the show, and it sucks if you're you, was having Danica McKellar on the show. I grew up, man. We're about the same age. I loved me some Winnie Cooper.
Sure.
So when you thinking you're in a bodybuilding contest, you see your childhood crush, much like everyone else's childhood crush, and you turn super red. And I get it. I totally get it. I only ask, all right, how did you come back from that? How did you have the wherewithal to just kind of just go with the flow? Because I couldn't have did it, man.
I never came back from it. I'm still tortured by the moment. There's my life before and after that moment. It is single-handedly the most embarrassing moment of my life because you have to keep in mind the whole scenario, right? So I go in there thinking I'm competing in a bodybuilding competition. I go in this waiting room. They have these dudes that are freaking jacked up. They start working out at 5 a.m. They end at 10 p.m. at night, right? And they're ripped, they're greased up, and they piped in the sounds of a real bodybuilding competition in the room I was waiting in, right? And they strip me down, they start spray tanning me. My nipples are like already very pointy, right? And they're extra pointy. And if you look at the photos of that punishment, my body is spray tanned, my face isn't. So my face looks superimposed on my own body, right? So I'm already mortified physically. I'm naked, I got a little Speedo on. That's already a mortifying punishment to go out there and kind of flex and compete in a real competition. I have the body of a string bean. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I'm already mortified. And a split second before I open the door to walk in the room for the competition, part of my brain was like, what if there's a twist here and I'm not walking into a competition, even though I hear it? What if there's no competition going on? I open the door. Never in a million years could I expect Winnie Cooper, Danica McKellar, my childhood crush. I didn't even know she did the show. The guys had reached out to her. I had no clue. We had no contact with her. And the guys had found out she was a fan and invited her. She was totally game. Keep in mind that she's not wearing an earpiece. Everything she says to me to rip me apart is off the top of her head. So she got the show. She understood the show. She loved the show. Her kids watch it. I felt about this tall, man. I was so embarrassed. I will never forget that moment ever in my life.
You keep it together though. You like if you watch, and this is coming from an objective person. Granted, where your world is probably crumbling inside your head, Lord knows what inception level of things that's going on in your head. Yeah. You somehow still completed the interview.
I mean, not well. I look like an idiot. My favorite is when I said, what would America call our child? And she says, off the top of her head, she's no earpiece. She goes, a mistake. I was like, oh, shit. I'm getting sassed by Winnie Cooper, man. It's crazy. Man.
Look, you guys have been going 10 seasons strong. I have to ask, is it easier to do it because you guys are popular? Do people figure you guys out? Do people just in the street like, oh, that's Murr, watch out for him?
There's some people, I mean, it happens all the time, right? So I went to a Giants game like a few years back, and at halftime of the game, I go to use the men's room, and, Giants Stadium, there's 30 urinals in a row. You're squeezed shoulder to shoulder between dudes, and you wait like 10 guys deep before you get up to the urinal, right? So wait my turn, get up to the urinal. I'm literally shoulder to shoulder like this, and the guy to my left recognizes me and leans over and he goes, am I on TV right now? I was like, no, dude. I'm peeing in the men's room at Giant Stadium. There's no cameras in the bathroom at Giant Stadium. Like, it happens all the time, but no one gets us. I'll spot you a mile away if you know the show. And we don't. What helps us is that we don't look famous, man. I look like a pharmacist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people recognize me, but they think I work at Walgreens and the prescription's ready.
So even with that, there are people who like get it. How many times for the people who don't get it, how many times have the cops been called, and how do you get out of it?
So many times, and we get out of it the same way every time. Perfect. They just got called us a few months ago. We did that episode with Post Malone, right? He's a mega fan of the show. We'd heard for a long time he was a fan of the show. He's been watching the show since he was 13 years old, right? And he had an encyclopedic knowledge of the show. He comes to set, we film with him. It was one of these punishments where him and Q were working as parking garage attendees, right? And it's one of these parking structures that's like vertical, right? So you come in to claim your car, they bring it down for another level of the building, pull it out, and you take it. So unbeknownst to the customer, Sal, myself, and Post were on a different level of the garage doing whatever we wanted to the customer's car before Post brought it down and Q had to deal with the consequences, right? So this one woman comes up to claim her car. We filled her car up with so much smoke, as if Post had smoked every joint on the planet, right, inside this poor lady's car. He pulls the car out, opens the door, and like a cumulus cloud comes out of her front seat. She freaks the fuck out. She loses her mind. She starts screaming. She doesn't recognize Q or Post. She starts screaming. She calls 911 on us. 3 minutes later, NYPD NYPD rolls up on the garage. They come out, they recognize Post and Q. They calm the lady down, like, please calm down, calm down. They take her outside and they come back in. We're like, shit, we're going to get busted, man. They're going to shut the TV show down, say, guys, too much, you've gone too far. They come in and they're like, guys, listen, we're huge fans of the show. Can we take photos with you? I'm like, yes, suck it, lady. It works every time. Like,
Man,
we had the called 15, 20 times on us in the past 10 years.
I can see that. I can see that. But
yeah.
I kind of alluded to that in the intro. You're coming to here. I am a proud Detroiter, but right outside Detroit, right in our suburbs, you're coming to Royal Oak Music Theater. That's on the 28th
of
October. I have to say, like, seeing you guys live, well, I've seen you guys live, all four of you. But seeing you by yourself live, what are we expecting?
Dude, I can't even tell you. It is outrageously fun. By the way, the show is all ages. Bring the whole kit, bring the kids, everybody. You can get tickets at murrlive.com. I'll be there in Royal Oak, right outside of Detroit, on Saturday, the 28th of October. The live show is outrageous because it's stand-up comedy, obviously, and I shot pranks for the live show that's on a giant screen behind me, just like the Jokers tour.
Right.
But what's different about my show is that the entire second half of the show is I'm making up as I go. It's all improv because I do two games in particular for the end of the show. One is I ask for 3 volunteers. I borrow their cell phones, and with their permission, I start texting people on their behalf from their phone as if it's them texting. And then I'll FaceTime people, whatever, and it causes chaos in a great way. Because I don't think of the text in advance. I ask the person some questions, learn about them, and then I decide to text their friends, loved ones on their behalf. And it's hysterically funny. And then we do another game at the end of the show where we play Impractical Jokers live, meaning I choose someone from the crowd, put an earpiece in their ear. I'll send them out into the streets of Michigan. We watch on screen in the theater as live on the spot on the streets. They've got to do and say what I tell them to. It's like watching the TV show happen live in front of you. I have no idea what's going to happen or how people are going to react. It's like seeing the show happen in front of your eyes. It's outrageous, and I promise not to get you arrested.
All right, that sounds awesome. And okay, I'm glad you promised not to get people arrested. That's you may want to open with that, but yeah. But look, man, this is great. But I gotta ask, what made you want to tour on your own? I mean, you guys, I know you're a part of a collective, but
yeah, it's just based on schedule. So the Jokers tour did our first half of our run from January through end of July this year. Then we take a few months off from touring, and then we go back to the Jokers tour in January, then tour for the next 6 months on the Jokers tour. So it's just a gap in the schedule of our shows. So I was like, well, screw it. I love performing. I'm doing my own shows now. And then we go back to the Jokers tour in January. It's just,
okay. All right, but hey, I want to give you this. I want to say thank you for this because you inadvertently helped us out without knowing. My son he's 10 and he's reading Area 51 Interns. He read
No way.
Yes. He's into it because he didn't want to read comic. He wanted to read something for school for a book report, but he didn't want to read something like a comic book or something like that. He wanted to be a little different. So what we did, we picked Area 51 Interns, and I was like, hey, you like aliens? Hopefully this will grab your attention. Not only did it grab your attention, we got the first book, we got the second book, and you know what? I'm sure.
Did you get the third book yet?
Not yet. We're
Okay.
on our way.
So did you order it yet or no?
No, we were
okay. So after this, when we stop recording, I'm going to give you my email address and send me your address, and I'm going to send you an autographed third book, complimentary for
Thank
me.
You so much.
Son, just let me, and it's my treat.
I appreciate it, Murr. Man, he read the first two mainly because he wanted to do something for school that wasn't school protocol. They had their own list, and he just wanted to do some of his own, and he likes it. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah, the books are great. It's the first one's about aliens, second one's about mythical creatures. This one's all about time travel. It's awesome. They're great he's the perfect age for this book, 10 years old,
All right. So I feel like there's other parents. If you don't mind, just talk a little bit about Area 51 interns so people under our
Sure.
sight and sound can hear it.
I got them all here. Let me see. Area 51 Interns is a book trilogy from Penguin Random House, written by me and my dear coworker, colleague, Carson Smith. It's about a group of kids that land a summer internship at the infamous Area 51, and their parents happen to work there. And every day they go to work, something crazy and different and new happens that jeopardizes all the adults, and it's up to these kids to save the day every single book. So book one came out about a year ago. Is of course the aliens get loose in Area 51. Book two came out about 6 months ago. That's the mythical creatures like the chupacabra get loose in the basin. The kids have to save the day. And book three, we dive into another sci-fi topic, time travel, and they've got to travel all throughout time to save Vivian's father, who's caught in a time loop. They're awesome, funny, hysterical sci-fi comedy for kids, and you can get it wherever books are sold, or if you want an autographed copy, go to area51novel.com.
Murr, I can totally attest to that, mainly because I'm living proof of it. So thank you so much. But
It, man.
that leads to my question. I've always heard like writing books is like super hard. It seems to come easy for you. This is like your sixth or seventh book, right?
The eighth, actually.
Eighth.
Yeah, this
there we go.
Eighth one. Yeah, I've got they're all up here above my head. I've got the Awaken trilogy is sci-fi horror. The Stowaway is a serial killer thriller. Don't Move is a creature feature horror. And then the three Area 51 books. And then next October, I've got another serial killer novel coming out set during Christmas time called You Better Watch Out.
Okay. I like that. I love that title. But what makes it so easy for you? Like,
it's not easy. It's hard as shit. It's coming up with the ideas is easy. The ideas are easy. And then spending a week developing the characters, plot, hook, how we get there, and sequencing the chapters in paragraph form, that's easy. Yeah, that's a lot of fun because we drink a lot while doing it, and laugh a lot. But the actual physical writing of the book is very difficult. So as soon as we hang up, I go back to writing because I'm on a really tight deadline for the book that comes out next October. It was due weeks ago, and we pushed the deadline a little bit, but it takes, you got to hand a book in minimum 9 months before, and it's got to be copy edited minimum 9 months before in order to hit your publishing date. So it's hard. It's hard work, man. It's a lot of focus and time to get it exactly right because you can't. It has to be great, and you have to stick the landing. If you don't stick the landing, what the hell was the whole thing for? So, it's so funny. You fly through writing the main part of the book, and then when you get to the last 5 chapters, it slows to a crawl, the writing process, because you have to get it exactly right.
Well, I know I want to talk about this, and I know we're up against it, and I'm eating too much of your time, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this. You and your wife just had the number 95 Candles second annual Alzheimer's charity night.
Thanks, man.
That was last week. I'm sorry, a few days ago actually. I couldn't get into it why it was happening, but I still want people to understand what this is about. I don't know. Let me rephrase that. I do know Alzheimer's has affected your life, and much like my own and anyone else. But can you tell them a little bit about Alzheimer's charity night that you and your wife host?
Sure. It's an event organized and thrown by my wife. I'm there, of course, supporting her and the charity. We do this annual event to support Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research, which is one of the very special, rare organizations in the country that's not just a charity, but they also have scientists that do research into Alzheimer's, so they have a fully functioning laboratory where they're testing out new drugs, and they actually do work in the field to advance the field, not just help families and people suffering from Alzheimer's. Amazing organization. So my father, well-known, he's been on Jokers many, many times over the past 13 years, but he just passed from Alzheimer's a few months ago. And his condition, as it worsened, actually is what the stress of it ended up killing my mom too. She passed a few months before him from how bad his Alzheimer's had gotten. And it puts a tremendous emotional toll on the family and on him, of course, and physical toll on him. And we just watched as the disease, over the course of years, just took my father. You know, it's like when someone dies suddenly. My mother died very suddenly. It's a terrible tragedy, and it's in shock. When someone dies from Alzheimer's, it's like losing them by attrition. You know, the person you knew just slowly disappears a little bit more and more each day. So by the end of his life, there was no quality of life. There was no, he just was gone. You know, he was alive, but gone. And it's very hard for to see someone you love just disappear like that, you know? So the event we do it every year, excuse me. The event we do it every year to raise money for the Fisher Center to make advancements in Alzheimer's research. We just tentatively set the date for next year for October 5th. You can join virtually or online. We have amazing sponsors and prizes. My wife raised almost $100,000 last Saturday night for Alzheimer's. Last year, first year, we did 32,000. This year, almost 100. So I can't. Everyone that did join us, I can't thank them enough for their generosity, for the amazing artists, sponsors that joined for the event, and it was incredible. I'm a very, very proud husband, and yeah, an amazing event, a great party, a lot of fun, everybody dancing and singing, and live auctions. It's really incredible, and I hope you can join us next year. You'll be able to find out all the details at well, we haven't set the new site up for next year. We went to lock the date, but you can always go to the NO 95. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go to 95candles.com to wait. Is that it? Let me think. Just check my social media. Well, I'll post
there you go.
Speaking of
social media, hey,
all the URLs are, you know, it'll be 95charity.net when it goes up.
Okay. I will make sure that we check out your social media. I'll post it all over this before the interview goes up. You're here at Royal Oak in October the 28th. And real talk, get your brownie points as a man who rocks the ring himself. You may want to come out and say it, just like, hey, I love her. But we only got a few more minutes left. This camera, that camera, your camera. Tell us what you got coming next.
What do I got coming next in life?
All of it. All Murr. All Murr, everything. This is the big show. Go ahead.
Just celebrate my 3-year wedding anniversary, which is awesome. I'm doing 30 different tour dates this fall all across America. Go to murrlive.com to get tickets to all of them. I'll be at Rhode Island Comic-Con in November. I'll be at GalaxyCon in December. What else is going on? The guys and I go back to filming the TV show in January. The Jokers tour will announce all these spring dates, including likely Radio City Music Hall, which I'm excited about. We'll be doing a bunch more cities in the spring. What else is going on? I'm writing a new book, comes out next year. Raising a happy puppy. All of our fall crops are growing. We've got broccoli and potatoes, that we're harvesting now, and all the peppers are now we're picking 30 peppers a day.
What's your favorite? I grow peppers too. What's your favorite?
I hate peppers, but I grow them because I love growing everything. But I mean, sweet peppers were really good. I will say the sweet peppers we grew this year were great.
I got a few of those. I got a few bananas, but I do have some.
You grow bananas in Detroit? How aren't bananas like tropical?
No, bananas are like the easiest ones to grow. The hardest ones is the ones I'm super proud of. I have Carolina Reapers here in Michigan, and I also have chocolate ghost. That will be a challenge. I'm letting you know right now.
Wait, what's chocolate ghost? Is that a pepper?
Okay, yeah. You ever heard of ghost pepper?
Of course.
So if you leave them in a hot climate long enough, and I guess this summer was nice to it, the chocolate ghost peppers is almost like double the spice of a regular ghost pepper. And it grows and it looks like a little piece of chocolate.
I got to try this. Although I only tried a ghost pepper a single time in my life, and it was on Impractical Jokers last season.
I remember.
And I had uncontrollable tears shooting down my face. Like literally, I lost all, body function. It was great.
Yeah.
They legit thought I was going to shit myself on camera.
Yeah, you may not want to do
shit.
chocolate ghost.
I had to go. I got a 2:30 call. Right?
I know. We're up against it. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything. Murr, always welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. You're the best, man. Thanks for being. You're clearly a huge fan. As soon as you hit stop recording, I'm gonna give you my personal information, and then I'm gonna send you that autographed copy of the book too. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, Sam.